Hey guys, thanks for watching this channel. Now it is a beautiful December day and I'm taking you to the Memphis Zoo and Aquarium. It sits on 70 acres right here in the heart of Memphis. It was opened in 1906 and features over 4,500 animals, including 2 giant pandas. Now a couple years ago, TripAdvisor ranked this the #1 zoo, and as someone who's been coming here for the last 30 years, I can definitely attest to it. Come on, let's go. Now behind me is the facade that was built in 1990, and it resembles a temple in Luxor, Egypt. Even as you walk up to the front gate, you'll notice the animals, which is similar to the Avenue of Sphinx that connects 2 temples in Egypt. Finally, if you look at the very top, you'll see that the mission statement is written out in hieroglyphics. I've been coming here all my life. I never knew that one. The first big exhibit near the entrance is the Commercial Appeal Cat Country. It was opened in 1993. It sits on 4 acres and features lions, tigers, snow leopards, and cheetahs.
Right here we have our mini pride of lions with sisters Aquila and Jamila with their mate Tabo. Tabo means happiness in Swana, Aquila means wise in Swahili, and Jamila means beautiful in Arabic. To tell the 2 ladies apart, Jamila is lighter colored and more outgoing, while Aquila is darker and usually hangs out at the back of the exhibit.
Behind me are 2 cheetahs. Now cheetahs are the fastest land animals with speeds up to 75 miles per hour, and they're the most endangered cat in Africa. Next is the Tropical Birdhouse, which is one of the original buildings here at the zoo. Now it houses falcons, hornbills, toucans, burrowing owls, just to name a few. It also has an open flight area, but it's currently closed.
This is Penguin Rock, home to our African black-footed penguins. If you notice on each wing, they have a different color band. This is to identify them by name so the keepers know exactly what bracelets go to whom. And if you see the bracelet on the left side, it is a female, left for lady. And if you see it on the right side, it is male.
Now you're just posing.
This is the round barn, which was given to the zoo by the Memphis Police Department. It once housed their mounted patrol, and in 1923 it was moved here from downtown Memphis. The round barn is now home to a variety of African hooved animals, Dama gazelles, klipspringers, warthogs, that sort of thing.
The next section of the zoo is known as Once Upon a Farm. Now, as you walk in under the bridge made for the old-fashioned train, you're transformed back into the 1800s to see what farm life must have been like. Now, there's no exotic animals in this section of the zoo, but there's domesticated animals like chickens and cows and goats, and you really get to see what farm life was like. So there's a windmill and there's a silo. This is geared towards kids and interaction. Because of COVID, a lot of it is closed, but there's still some things you can learn, like composting.
The aquarium is one of the oldest exhibits at the Memphis Zoo and was actually the first aquarium in the Mid-South. It was also the first building in the Mid-South to have AC. It's home to over 150 different species of fish and marine life, including seahorses, eels, turtles, and jellyfish.
Keep going. Okay, a little faster.
This is the first time I've ever seen this guy out in his field. Show me your teeth.
Outside the tropical birdhouse and across from the penguin exhibit, this used to be the old sea lion exhibit until the sea lions were moved to the Northwest Passage in 2006, and now the pelicans call this home. The western side of the zoo is definitely the older side, and behind me is the Herpetarium, and it is home to tortoise, lizards, alligators, snakes. You definitely don't want to miss the 18-foot python. Her name is Lacey. Interesting fact, female pythons are larger than males. All right, let's go. The Dragon Lair exhibit behind me was opened in 1998 and is home to Komodo dragons, Ophelia, Saphira, Voltron, and Hollywood Jeff. Now they can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh up to 200 pounds, and they're actually poisonous. There's bacteria that's in their mouth. They are not considered endangered species, but they're considered vulnerable species. Let's check it out. This is Voltron. Look at those claws. She doesn't like the camera.
She's just mad I woke her up. So here you'll see the bonobos, which can also sometimes be called pygmy chimpanzees. They're one of the smallest and rarest of the great apes and are run by a matriarchy, which means that the mother is in charge. Bonobos are often referred to as hippies of the ape world, and they're a peaceful bunch, resolving their differences through nonviolence.
So we're about to leave the western part of the zoo and head over to China, but this exhibit is closed, but I thought it was worth pointing out. This was the old hippo exhibit, and it's one of the originals to the zoo, but in 2016, Zambezi River was opened and the hippo exhibit was moved over there. It's just kind of a crazy thing. It's a concrete pool. Just wait till you see their new exhibit. So the mission of the Memphis Zoo is conservation, research, and education, and that is really prevalent here in the China exhibit. So 2 giant pandas came to the Memphis Zoo in 2003. It's on 4 acres of land. Behind me is kind of a timeline showing the whole process to get them here, including the FedEx plane that they arrived in. Now we're one of only 3 zoos in the United States after Atlanta and DC to have pandas on exhibit.
Here we have Yaya and Lala. Yaya means pretty girl and is our female, and Lala means happy, happy. Conservation and research are a huge part of what they do here at the Memphis Zoo, so to see one of the world's most recognizable and beloved endangered animals, which exists today in just 6 small areas located in inland China. Memphis Zoo scientists have written over 50 scientific articles on giant panda nutrition, physiology, and behavior. So these are Francois langurs, and an interesting fact about them is that the babies are bright orange when they're born. So if you see straight ahead, the baby is not as orange. It's kind of getting a little bit bigger, but it is a lot lighter than the adults there. Another interesting thing about Francois langurs is that they actually switch motherhood roles. So they'll actually switch the baby around, trade it around. So you never really know who the exact mother is. So these guys may not look much, but these are Pere David deer. And an interesting fact about them is they actually no longer exist in the wild. They only exist in captivity, which is why the zoos and aquariums are doing really great things for conservation.
The Memphis Zoo had sort of a sad beginning. It began with a black bear named Natch. Now, Mr. Carruthers acquired the bear in 1904 in exchange for a pair of shoes. As Natch grew up, though, he became a little rambunctious. They moved the bear out to Overton Park, and he was chained to a tree so that others in town could come out and observe him. He was also a mascot for the baseball team, the Memphis Turtles. Now, from there, a group of people got together. They formed the Memphis Zoological Society. They actually called themselves the Breakfast Club because they got together every Tuesday and they had breakfast together to form this plan. The city of Memphis donated $1,200 and they had a fundraiser baseball game where they were able to raise over $3,000. From there, they built some cages and had enough food to feed Natch and some of the other animals. Alright, so now we are in the far back of the Memphis Zoo and we have just entered the African Veldt. And in here you will see elephants, rhinos, zebras, and giraffes.
Here we have Gina, Ocelli, Bombi, and Daisy, and you can tell the difference between these elephants. Gina has one tusk, Ocelli has one tusk as well, and a pink birthmark on her right front foot. Bombi has no tusks, and Daisy actually has two steel-capped tusks.
Our next stop is the Northwest Passage. It is home to polar bears and sea lions and bald eagles. It was opened in 2006.
As you're entering Northwest Passage, look closely at the totem poles at the entrance. They were actually hand-carved by an uncle-nephew pair of Canadian First Native people, and they're authentic First Nations totem poles. A shaman blessed them in 2006 when the exhibit opened, and they're placed at the entrance of the exhibit as a traditional way of welcome. Each totem pole tells a traditional First Nations story.
Behind me is the Grand Lodge. This is a popular wedding venue here at the Memphis Zoo, and it is the replica of Yellowstone National Park's Old Faithful Inn. Now, in Teton Trek, it's 4 acres. It's the home of grizzly bears, gray wolves, and trumpeter swans.
Now they'll get up for some strawberries. These are the 2 males. Yukon right here. Coachy's a little to the left. He's a little more blonde, missing some hair now.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, just like dogs, they shed. He just kind of shed at a weird time this year. Kind of needs that longer hair here when it gets cold. Just some odd timing. And then there's one other bear, Elsie, and she's actually all the way in the back. She's hanging out around the alcove area. boy timber. And they don't have opposable thumbs, but they do have very long claws.
Oh, wow.
And so they'll use those claws to kind of grasp their food. Yeah. And just like other rodents, their teeth, especially those two front teeth, will constantly grow. So they chew on things, really, really hard things to kind of shorten them, make sure they don't get too long.
Huh.
They get very long, it makes it really hard to eat. Got it.
Go, go!
Good boy.
So here in Primate Canyon, we have a variety of apes and monkeys, and the male silverback gorilla Moelu is actually quite famous here at the Memphis Zoo. He's famous for his love of the Rachel Ray show. So they allow their gorillas to watch television inside their night house, and they are very intelligent creatures. Moelu has a special love for Rachel Ray's cooking show, and the Memphis Zoo told her about him, and she did a TV special, which you can search for online. The three female gorillas, Penny, Kubara, and Kwazara, join Moelu in the exhibit.
Oh, we're trying to go inside. They're making this crazy little noise.
I love the noises that they make.
Yeah.
Oh, otters, they're so cute.
Females tend to top out anywhere between 3,500 and 3,800 pounds. These guys can get a little bit bigger. The males can get a little bit bigger than the females. He is out here by himself right now. The other three are sharing the, spending some time inside. We have Benji and Wendy, who's our mother and daughter pair. Benji came to us from Disney's Animal Kingdom, just like who's Ozzy. She came here right before the exhibit opened, and she was here to open up the exhibit with her friend Splish. Hippos are very trainable. They're just very stubborn, and they take a while to train. Part of the problem is they are very skittish, and they do get spooked pretty easily. So we have to go very, very slowly.
They are used to the warm weather, so they are not, I don't know what I was going.
In 2016, this was the newest addition to the zoo, is the Zambezi Zambezi. So we're about to enter Teton Trek. Behind me is the Grand Lodge, and it is a replica of the Yellowstone National Old Faithful. What is it called? So the mission of the Memphis Zoo is conservation, education, and research. Conservation, education, and research. They are Ophelia, Saphira, Voltron, and Hollywood Jeff. Now, Komodo dragons can get up to 10 feet tall. 10 feet tall. All right, here it is, for the win. One take.